For new non-tech founders, the technology stack can be one of those things that make you go,
No! God, please, no! No!
it's confusing, I get it, but at the same time, you have this sense it's super important for your project. And you're right, it is. You don't want to be an expert. You don't need to be an expert. You just want to know what the f is a tech stack. That's what this video is about. This is where you are right now. Tech stacks are an unknown, a complete mystery. It's like staring into a black hole. This is where I want to bring you to by the end of this video. I want you to know what you don't know about tech stacks. Deep down, you don't care about tech stacks, like at all. But you know damn well it's a huge part of app development. And it's very uncomfortable to be completely out of the loop on something so crucial to your project. That nagging feeling. Is your developer making a great decision or a terrible one? You can't build a healthy working relationship when you are completely in the dark. You just can't tell. So the purpose of this video is to bring you from that state of not knowing what you don't know to knowing what you don't know. And the things you don't know don't bother you because
it doesn't matter how you're doing.
So here's what we're covering in this video. Number one, what the hell is a tech stack? Number two, what are the components of a tech stack? Number three, what factors do developers consider when choosing a tech stack? Number four, how can a non-tech founder make sure that developer chooses a good tech stack? If you think you already have a pretty good idea of what a tech stack is, feel free to skip straight to part 3 and 4. Otherwise, be sure to watch the whole thing. I've tried my best to keep it as simple as I could. First, shameless promotion. This was a tough video to make, guys. Tech stacks are not an easy topic to explain to non-technical folks. I put in a lot of work into this one, so if you find it useful, please subscribe, leave a like, and a comment below. It helps to get this video out to other non-tech founders, and it tells me what kind of topics would do well in future pieces. Okay, that's it. Back to the video. Enjoy. So, what the hell is a tech stack? Easiest question in the world. I stole this answer from a MongoDB article. This article defined a technology stack as a set of technologies that are stacked together to build an application. I like it. I think it's accurate and easy to understand. I would like to add a little Adrian Ching touch to it. So let's see if we can improve that. I think technologies can be expanded to include apps, platforms, and software. And it's not just to build applications, it's to build any digital product or service really. Yep, easy enough. Next, what are the components of a tech stack? Check this out. Every tech stack ever will have these components. It could be several individual softwares that a developer manually connects. It could all be contained within a single software or platform. Point is, these components will be there in one form or another. So don't freak out if your developer doesn't have one of each. In fact, if you can get away with less, do it. What do? I don't want to just say component A does function A, component B does function B. It's not a textbook lesson. I want you to understand how these components all work together. What's going on in there? We'll start with the backend. Let's pretend you are a piece of data, just a piece of information. You could be a number, a picture, a frame of a video, a block of text, anything. You are a piece of data. Right now, you're just chilling in the database with all the other pieces of data until a user wants to access you. That's part of what a database does. It stores data. Obviously, the more data you want to store, the bigger the database has to be. If a user only wants to see half of you, the database needs to cut you into half before sending it out to them. That's something else a database does. It manipulates data. They can be simple manipulations, they can be really complex. What do your users need? So now, you, the piece of data, cut into half, are ready to be displayed to the users. You're still in the database. You need to travel to the screen or front end. This traveling is done through the server. The server gets the instructions from the front end, then tells the database, hey, a user needs this data cut into half. The database goes, okay, here you go. Server takes it and delivers it to the user on the front end. This exchange has to happen like that every time. If two users want to see you at the same time, the server needs to transport you to both of them simultaneously, just as fast. Same thing if 100 users want to see you. The more users you need to serve simultaneously, the bigger the server has to be. This is irrespective of how big your database is. Remember, the database only handles data storage and manipulation. If your server is only meant to handle one user at a time, and suddenly 100 users ask you to cut you in half and see you, none of them gets anything. They'll crash your server. That's pretty much what you need to know about the backend tech stack. It stores and modifies data. Now for the front end, remember you are a piece of data cut in half, right? You will now appear on the user's browser or interface. It's what users actually see on their screen. Now they can interact with you, see you, hear you, read you. If you're a PNG, you appear half a picture. If you're an MP3, you appear as half an audio track. Why even have a front end? All the data is already in the backend, and that's where developers go. That's where the party is. Simple. The backend looks like this. The data is there, the functions are there, but they're displayed as code. Even if someone is a developer, if they are not familiar with the code base, as in the specific software, they'll struggle to understand it. To a non-developer, this is just some alien shit from the future, completely unusable. The browser or interface or front end translate and rearrange this mumbo jumbo into something that not only makes it possible, but easy and fun for normal users to access the backend data and use your app. Something visual and something that uses normal human language. It turns this into this. Something anyone can see once and immediately understand. Developers built these user-friendly browsers with programming languages and frameworks. We use them to organize sections of a page and change the way sections look and how they interact with you, the user. The programming language is the actual code that we write, the alien language basically. A framework gives us like a template of code, so we don't have to start everything from scratch. It gives us a generic outline, then we customize it based on what you need. All this takes place on an operating system: Windows, iOS, Android, Linux, etc. They are like different countries. So a developer can use a native language that only works in one country, or we can use an international language that all countries understand well enough, but not enough, never enough for the full native experience. From a business perspective, which countries do your users live in? So that's the front end. And well, that's a tech stack. Backend stores and manipulate data. Front end makes it possible for non-techies to navigate data, and a well-designed front end makes it easy. Moving on to the third question. What factors a developer considers when choosing a tech stack? There's a ton of tech stack options. Too many if you ask me. That definitely adds to the frustrations of a non-tech person. One function, but you have 4 or 5 options floating around. Are they all really special and different? A more honest answer is yes, but not enough to matter most of the time. There are tools at the end of the day. The simpler the task, the more tools you can use. If you want to hammer a nail into a plank of wood, you could use a rock or someone's face, just like the Joker did in Batman. If you want to drive a nail into an inch of solid steel, you better have a hell of a hammer. These are the things that go through a developer's mind when they choose a tech stack. Speed of MVP production. Remember what I said about frameworks being templates? Some templates are very easy to use to create a working prototype. If our concern is building something fast to test it out, there are certain stacks that work better for that. Number 2, scalability. This has to do with how your server and database can grow bigger or smaller depending on traffic and what kind of different data manipulations might be needed later. As a general rule, development, time, and scalability always come at the compromise of each other. It all depends on what your project and your business needs more right now. Number 3, security. Some tech stacks allow more robust and layered protection. If your app is going to be handling sensitive data or belongs to a highly regulated industry like insurance, you legally need to meet pretty high security standards. For others, see what your developers has to say, because it is definitely possible to overdo your security. No one is going to go through a biometric scan followed by an OTP via email just to use their stopwatch. Number 4, popularity. Developers like popular tech stacks. Not trendy, popular. They have an active community. So it's easy for us to find support if we ever get stuck. Sorry, not if, when we get stuck. We are a really fussy bunch. So if we all like something, take it as a good sign. Also, as someone who runs an app development agency, if I hire someone new, I need them to be familiar with our stack. Same thing with you as the founder. You want a tech stack that other developers are familiar with, so you're not stuck with your current developer if they turn out to be rubbish. Number 5, budget. This is a minor detail compared to the others, but cost is something that we can't run away from. Think of it this way. If you're faced with options, look for quality first. If quality is equal or doesn't matter, go with the cheaper option. Just have some long-term planning here. Spend more now, spend less in the long run. Maybe not. Open your wallet and see how much you have inside. What can you do to make sure your developer doesn't choose a dog stack? Here's some good news. I don't think there is such thing as a dog stack. Unless your developer tries to use an iOS stack for Android, most stacks will do the job. But within that pool of stacks that can get the job done, some will do it better, for sure. Before you hyper-focus on the tech stack, I would advise you to make sure your developers are good at everything else. You can do this by asking them these 6 questions that you can find in my developer interview questions template. Link in the description, completely free, you're welcome. Okay, for the tech stack itself, notice that throughout the video, I've not named a single software. There's no point. You don't need to know about any tech stack other than the one your developers wants to use. So ask them. It's question 3 in my template, by the way. Once you know what tech stack they like using, you need a reliable third party. Reliable in this case means 2 things. Number 1, they're on your side, not the developers. Number 2, they're technical people who knows their stuff. If you have a friend who's a software engineer, invite them to your house for a cup of coffee, then hit him on the head and lock them in the basement until they evaluate your developer stack. If you don't have a friend you can trust, you can always ask Reddit. The web developer subreddit is where I would recommend starting. This is a subreddit of technical people made for technical people. So be very clear that you are a non-techie and you just need help evaluating a developer's tech stack. Explain what you want your app to do, then share what your developer wants to use. If Redditor thinks it's bad, ask them to please explain in business terms in a way you can understand. If it's good, say it's good, and you can very comfortably go back to not caring. With this, you now go from this reasonable position to this sweet spot. You know just enough about the concept and components of a tech stack and your developer's specific stack to make an informed decision. It's either yes, let's go with it, or no, I want something that gives better X, Y, Z. It's never a situation where you need to blindly trust. This is ultimately one of those things where you want to stay out of the way as long as you know your developers are competent. After that, just go back to the only stack that matters. Butter, honey, cream, and at least 10 inches of pancakes. That's a stack. Like I mentioned earlier, there's actually a few other areas you need to screen your developers on, not just the tech stack. Once you finish your pancakes, check out this video on questions to ask developers before hiring them. It could save you literally tens of thousands of dollars. That's the face I make when my clients tell me how much they paid previous developers.
You paid how much for this piece of shit?
Watch the other video and please don't forget to subscribe. Cheers!